That feeling you get when no one shows up for your live stream, but you're there anyways and you committed yourself to it. How's it going, everybody? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Oh, there's 7 people. And as soon as I start talking, a black cat comes in around me. Anyways, how you guys doing? How you doing out there in YouTube land? I hope you're doing well. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas guy. I do Vegas things for the Vegas YouTube community. If we have such a community, seems like everybody's against everybody these days. Why is that? Why is it that we switched from being like so nice to each other to copying everybody's freaking Instagram? Yeah, I have somebody who's impersonating me on Instagram, and I totally reported them, but they totally, Instagram said, we're not going to take this down. And it just, I don't understand it at all. It's impersonating me. It's using my logos. It's using everything, and it still wouldn't do it. So we have some other YouTubers in the YouTube sphere that are actually live streaming. We have some other people, but you're here with me, so I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you guys for having me here and having yourselves being here. We're just going to do a Vegas general chat today. If you guys want to chitty chat and ask me some questions, you guys can. San Antonio is here. Greetings from Henderson. Ooh, I got Henderson. My old boss used to call it Hendertucky. I don't know why. I better put this on so people don't get mad at me for not wearing one. I got a lot of flack for not wearing one on the strip. My wife made this. I have other casino patterns that are coming in. How sweet it is. I love this mask. It works really well. It's on vegasfacemask.com. Now you can't see me or hear me, and now you can't see my lips. So I just killed all of the people who like to read lips, and apparently there are some. But anyways, that's what we have. Happy Sunday, everybody. What did you guys do this weekend? This weekend was me setting up and ripping apart my studio for the 9th time, trying to move this entire desk. We're going to paint it on the wall behind me, a big kind of cool mural type of thing if we can. We're no Pablo Picasso's over here. And we're going to do our best to make it look pretty awesome and put NLLV and stuff like that. But we'll put some stuff that's personalized to the channel on it. So yeah, so I have somebody who's impersonating me over on the Instagrams, and I had notified Instagram, and they said, well, sorry, that's not against our community guidelines. If you don't know already, I do have an Instagram. It's called Not Leaving Las Vegas, and if you guys want to see what that's all about, we can just take a look at that real quickly here. So this is Not Leaving Las Vegas on Instagram. My posts, and by the way, my feed is generally private. You have to actually be accepted by me. I don't know why, but I read somewhere that that's a smart thing to do. So you can see some of my stuff, and we have different posts and things. I post things on Patreon, and I also post them up here. Facebook, I don't know why I don't paste a lot of images on Facebook, but we have different stuff. The real meat and potatoes is on the Patreon. I put stuff like that up there all the time, and you guys can see that too. But some of these photos are quite old. So the only one that's not mine is this one. I actually reworked another person, and I gave them credit. It was this guy named Bradley Anderson, but my photo has a cool sky on it. And anyways, so I go on Instagram today, and I see that there's this thing called Not Leaving LV, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not me, and that looks deceptive, doesn't it? So I reported this to Instagram. Let's do it again. We're gonna report the user to Instagram. It's inappropriate. We're gonna report the account. It's posting, no, it's pretending to be someone. Who's it pretending to be? It's pretending to be me, don't you know? And that's all I can do. You'll get a notification on the review of your report. And I did before. It was somewhere in my feed, and I don't know Instagram very well. So when I went there, it said, we have reviewed your report, and we don't care. You can go suck an egg. So I'm a little bit frustrated and frosty at Instagram right now. I don't even see the report in here right now. Instagram is a mess as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure if my last name rhymed with Kardashian, they would have no problem taking down that content, but they don't seem to care. So that's what's going on with me in my world today, and it's a pain in the butt. Evan's mom is in the house. Oh my gosh, we got Sorry I Can't Stay, about to eat dinner. Celine is here. I know I'm later than I usually would be, guys. Steve, come have beers with me at the Cosmopolitan. I'll be there Monday from Texas. Martin says, I love the Cosmopolitan. I don't know if I'll be on the strip, but we could try to meet up. That would be cool. I try not to drink because, you know, personality changes when you drink. And yeah, so greetings from the far east side. Whoa, Steven Rodriguez is in the house. Any news on the arcade at Excalibur? I imagine when the Excalibur opens, the arcade opens, unless they're doing some kind of social distancing thing. But that is what it is. So if you guys want to help me out, thank you, Steven Rodriguez. 158.6 thank yous. I just realized I titled this Crazy Man Answers as Many Questions as He Can once again. So I guess that's what it is. I'm a crazy man. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, so if you guys want to go and report that, and you're on the Instagrams, it's not leaving LV. That's his imposter account. Maybe if enough people report it, because a bunch of people did on Facebook. I'm actually disappointed in Instagram. You'd think that they would give a damn, but they don't. I reported them right away when I saw the post. Thank you, Margarita. You are the lady tonight. All the other guys, you're the man now, dog. New York, New York. Arcade is open. Man, still coughing. Don't say Rona. I swear to God, you say Rona. And 5 of you will say it. Because I love all of you. I'm not going to do anything about it. One more Instagram report sent. Yeah, that's fine. They're not going to do anything about it because apparently it doesn't do anything except for it damages my brand and my reputation. So what do? Yeah, Facebook's the owner. They don't care. So maybe I'll send them a strongly worded letter that sounds like it's full of legalese. I wish the Excalibur would bring back the Dragon Show. I never had a chance to see it. I remember it briefly from when I was a kid. There was some fire-breathing dragons in front of the Excalibur. It was, as they say back in the day, a pretty cool thing. As a matter of fact, I guess we could all just watch YouTube together. Most of you guys don't know this. But if you guys go to YouTube and you just type in what you're looking for, you can actually find any era. Whoa, nightclubs opening July, nay or yay, yay or nay. Well, I would say at the rapid clip that we are going right now, it's a possibility that is a yay. So we're going to mute this tab so we don't have it echoing. And you can type in, for example, Excalibur grand opening. And you can find that kind of stuff right here. So Excalibur Hotel, Las Vegas, grand opening day. And this is from Channel 13 Action News. Thank you, Dodger Ryan, by the way. And you guys can see the Excalibur Hotel doing their grand opening on June 19th, 1990. Can you believe that the Excalibur has been open for 30 years? And here's what it looked like when it opened. It was crowded, and this video is way unformatted correctly. And look at all of the crap they're throwing into the air. That is quite phenomenal. There's fireworks on top of it. It really does resemble a Disney type of thing, and there's a reason for that. You know, they wanted to basically build a magical kingdom on the Strip, and it's very interesting to take a look at it. They did have the property. You can see across the street from the Excalibur, there's absolutely nothing. There's actually the golf course at Bally High. I believe that's not even Bally High. That would actually be where is that where the New York, New York is right now? That's very interesting. There's a flashback from the past. Remember, an old car in 1990 was a car from 1970. Look at this fanfare. This is KTNV Action News showing off the fanfare. Look at all this. This is crazy. Excalibur is Circus Circus South. Yes, but Excalibur does it on a bigger, grander scale, and it gets a lot more foot traffic than Circus Circus ever would. Here's a couple of guys with 90s hair talking about it. We can see inside. Buy your stuff from Las Vegas, everybody. And I imagine the Sherwood Forest Cafe, I think, still exists. Yeah, I mean, look, let's see if we can find that dragon. Oh my gosh, this is the Excalibur in 1990. Everybody is just, oh, D.D. White. Okay, so here we go. This was the big, huge thing at Excalibur. This guy's obviously walking on his own. It's pretty hilarious, actually, at the Village Bar. Oh my goodness gracious. Vegas in the 90s, a very different place, don't you think? I think so too. And a lot of balloons. That would never fly. That would never pass. You'd have all sorts of influencers out there. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see me. You'd have all sorts of influencers out there going, you're destroying the environment. I have to make this video not full screen for half a second so we can do this. I know. I got a domino in the house. I am quite impressed that you're here, Domino. So we can go like this, and I can make me smaller so you guys can still see the video down here. So you guys can see right here the Excalibur in 1990. It's pretty phenomenal. Come here, Domino. You're going to sit on the floor. You're going to be with me. I got a Domino in the house. He doesn't come and grace me with the live streams all that often. So yeah, you can see they have wedding chapels. I mean, they got everything at the Excalibur, but I'm looking for the fire-breathing dragon, so I imagine that might be up here. So trying to ruin everything. I stayed at Excalibur in the 90s when I was a kid, Jason says. That's pretty cool. I like it. So you can do this anytime you guys want to on YouTube. You can just go and look at an era and a year for Las Vegas. I just type in Excalibur grand opening. Don't tell me you're not going to show me the fire-breathing dragon. Oh my gosh. So we got to type in fire-breathing. You're so well behaved compared to the other ones, Domino. I love you, Domino. So let's see if we can find that. There it is. Merlin and the Dragon, my friends. This is what used to grace the front of the Excalibur. The inside of the MGM was very different, as I mentioned yesterday. The inside of the MGM used to have a Wizard of Oz theme. They literally had Dorothy and everybody, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion. Okay, you're going to go. The Scarecrow. They had everybody up there. And it was very interesting to see. Now, the only remnants of that's actually remaining right now, my phone is going off, sorry about that, is if you look in the very, very top of the West Wing, you can see little bits. But we can see Merlin, the fire-breathing dragon, up here. Is he going to make an appearance? Oh, there he is. Oh, my gosh. There's the dragon in all 1990-something 360p faded garbage. I mean, you guys, if you guys are having kids and stuff like that nowadays, your kids are going to be living in an era where every single thing they're recorded is in 1080p or 4K resolution. But there's the dragon. It used to come out. There was a big old dragon show. What can I say? The whole era of Las Vegas in the 90s was a much different time. Wasn't it one of the largest hotels? It was. Currently, the largest hotels are not even located in the United States. There it is. Boom! And we got fire, everybody. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Okay, that's a James Taylor song. That's not the same. But yeah, you can see the fire. That was your fire-breathing dragon at the Excalibur at the day. Right out front, just like how they do the water show at the Bellagio, they had a fire-breathing dragon. Look at that. Can you imagine that? You go up there, and that's what you have in front of there. That's crazy. Yep, and we had Merlin. I think Merlin comes out of this little thing. Yep, there he is, an animatronic Merlin, not an actor. And he does a spell on the dragon, and he vanquishes the dragon back to whence he came. Very medieval. You know, they could always retool this and make it a Game of Thrones type thing. That would be interesting. If there's ever a bow and arrow convention, they should surround it. There is a bow and arrow convention, actually, every year, Brian. The bow and arrow convention is actually the SHOT Show, but it's also guns. So they have bows, arrows, firearms. They also have throwing knives and axes at that convention. So there's Merlin giving it. So all you got to do is type in Las Vegas Excalibur, Merlin the Lord. Look at that. Poof, little fireworks go off. They really tried all out to get the kids to come to Las Vegas with the parents until they realized that the kids can't gamble and the parents aren't gambling and the kids can't even stay near the slot machines. So what the heck are we doing? And all of a sudden what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Thank you very much. So this is some 1990s footage. That dragon wouldn't even pass muster these days. People would look at that and they go, is that it? Ooh, I came all the way to Vegas for that? I mean, it would be ridiculous. Does MGM still have the wizard figures back at the monorail entrance? I have not seen them because I've not been to that monorail entrance. They could still have... No, MGM, no. That's not true. I was at the monorail last night. I didn't see them, but maybe they're a little further in than I was. So, I mean, the dragon, it's got a kind of, what do they call that, kitsch feel to it. It's got that 90s feel when people were not as whiz-bang impressed by CGI entertainment as they are today. Because right now, dragons are photorealistic creatures that carry Jon Snow and Daenerys around their backs. But those eyes are actually pretty good. I got to give them credit for that. Look at that. Man, that's the show in front of the Excalibur. We got a few seconds left of this till we can get back to my ugly mug. 1990s when LV tried to be Disneyland with slots. And it was also the issue with 1990s Vegas. Let's change the title of this. We're not going to call it Crazy Man. Let's say Remembering. I'm changing the title after the video started. Remembering Old 90s Vegas. Okay, so we're changing the title while we're in the stream. I hope I don't break the internet. Boom. Now it's called Remembering Old 90s Vegas. That's the name of this live stream. So there we go, and there you have it. That was it, and now we have somebody who's going to explore Excalibur with us. Let's get copyright infringed. Is this Danny? Oh, it's Danny702. Oh, man. She's one of the OGs in Las Vegas. She moved to Orlando, Florida. But we're talking about the old 90s in Las Vegas, not the new era of Las Vegas, which is what Danny does. So let's get rid of this. And we'll bring myself back up here, and we'll talk some more about that. What was your favorite part of the old Las Vegas experience? You tell me in the comments below. Bringing families to Vegas in the 90s laid the seeds for the 21st century when those kids became young adults. Vegas casinos. I agree. Aggie Jordan III says, Steven, what is your all-time favorite Vegas strip resort? Gosh, you know, even though MGM's doing it better. It's got to be Caesar's Palace. I just have so many memories from there. First date with my wife. One of the biggest things that ever floored me coming into Las Vegas back when I was a kid was seeing those big Roman guards in front of it. All the architecture, all of the hand-painted things that they did in there, especially the new forum shops. Those are fantastic. I got to say they're wonderful, and I really, really do appreciate those. So, yeah, it's got to be Caesar's Palace. Thank you so much, Aggie Jordan. You're a local Las Vegan level 3. So this is, Steve, why don't you wear a mask streaming? Well, I don't wear, here's my secret. I'm actually super duper concerned about this stuff because I deal with a lot of people who are older and more at risk. And so I do want to wear a mask, but do you hear what this does to my voice? So let's say I'm not tying it up. You hear how muffled my voice becomes. Now, maybe some people would understand it, but a lot of people will give me crap for that. So while I'm on the strip, I just make a good point not to get face-to-face with people. And that's the real reason why I'm using hand sanitizer on those live streams a lot of the time. Because I really do take it seriously. And I know I have a propensity to touch my face a whole lot. So that's why I don't. I missed the Nile River tour at the Luxor. Let Your Light Shine says, yeah, the story about that. This is a story about the 90s in Vegas. The story is that the Nile River in the Luxor was originally the check-in line. So you would show up at the Luxor, you'd have all your bags, you got out of the airport shuttle, the taxi, there was no Uber or Lyft, and you got out, and, you probably didn't take a limo if you were going to the Luxor, but maybe you did. So you got out, and you put your bags on, and yourself on this ride that went down the Nile River, and it took hours to check in at some points. Because you had all these people checking into the new mega resort in Las Vegas, but they didn't really plan that out very, very well. So they ended up actually scrapping that and making it a 3-dimensional ride, and making it so people could actually take a ride and pay money for it. But that was the original right there. How long did you live in the Huntington Beach? Oh, Jeff, it was a very short amount of time. We eventually moved to Romo Land, which is on the 15 going north towards Vegas. That's in San Bernardino County. It was just too expensive. We maybe lived there for 5-6 months until we realized we're paying something like $2,000 for a 400 square foot place with me, my uncle, and my cousin, who was young at the time. It was ridiculous. Will anyone say the boardwalk? Probably not, but that was a place. Michael Jackson did his tour with Donald Brashear. I believe it was Donald Brashear. Was that the guy? He did his tour when he showed about how he loved, it's so wonderful, it's magical. That's Michael. And everything was magical. It's so special. And he went all the way through the boardwalk. That was interesting. Sweet hat. Yes, thank you. Cindy's Best Las Vegas Gifts hooked me up with the hat. It is indeed a Henderson Silver Knights hat. This camera does not focus like I'd like it to. Probably one of the first you could get. It's not like it's a Fanatic or something like that. I don't know who made it, but it has the logo on it, which I really, really like. They should just open the shows with limited capacity and make people sign waivers and have temperature checks. They don't even temperature check people going into the casinos on the strip. That would be good. I get to Vegas on Saturday. That's very fun, Watbury. I'm happy you're coming, man. Whoa, Martin Alvarez, heat me up. Wife and I driving to Vegas now, and we'll be there tomorrow. I'll shoot you a message tomorrow on Facebook. We can have only one beer at Cosmopolitan. You can shoot a video of my room if you like. Lose signal. Loses signal. Lose signal. No, you don't lose signal at the Cosmo. That's very cool. I shot a room at the Cosmo, so I'm not saying no to you. Last winter time, my guest friend, somebody on the channel, had a wraparound suite. But we can definitely meet up if I have the time for it. Tomorrow I have a scheduled haircut with the wife. She cuts my hair, so that might be a thing. Have any of the casinos secretly? Thank you so much. By the way, you get 308 level 3 likes. Guys, I know I'm not on the strip, so I'm appreciative of 308 people watching me. So we're to our topic tonight, because if I was on the strip, I'd have 1,000, but I have the 308 hardcore fans right here. So the first show was Legends in Concert. Dodger says at Imperial Palace. Ooh, that's all going back in the day, isn't it? Now the Legends is over at, I want to say the Flamingo. Have any of the casino security kicked out anyone for a high fever detected? I haven't heard anything, and I'm sure they wouldn't tell the news. They're private companies. They probably wouldn't do it. Thanks, Martin. Yes, thank you, Martin. Saul will be here on Tuesday. Did New York have an underground place? Not that I ever know of. The MGM has the underground shopping that leads out towards the back of the monorail, and you park and you go down into the underground, and then you pop into the actual lobby of the MGM Grand. Have any of the casinos? I always like the story of the MGM line until they realized a massive percentage of people would not walk under the line because they consider it bad luck. That was a Chinese tourist thing. It was. And okay, I'm racist because I said a country's name. No, it was. It was because Chinese folks have bad luck. They're very superstitious in their culture. It's the same reason why the Beijing Olympics started on August 8th, 2008, because 888 is considered good luck. 8 on its side is also the infinity infinity symbol, if you think about it that way. So they're very superstitious, and they didn't want to walk through the lion, and it was considered bad luck, and they changed it and put that big old lion outside. But I like the lion. What's my favorite casino that's now gone? My favorite casino that's now gone would be the Riviera, no longer with us anymore. I have pictures I took of New York being built a few months ago. I found them a few months ago. Very cool, Steve D. Steve D was hooking me up with some good data. We're going to do a video on resort fees and cover all of them, which is very nice. MGM was the Wizard of Oz theme, the original Wizard of Oz theme at the MGM. Most people wouldn't think about that, but we can think about that because the shadow knows. I wish I was using fancy pants software that will allow me to scale myself down just like that in an instantaneous click, but we don't have that. MGM Grand Wizard of Oz. So we can type that into the YouTube machine right here. And you guys can see just some still images. We're not going to watch a video, but these are actually some images from inside of the MGM Grand when it opened. You can tell, you can see the old theming. The MGM would never get away with this kind of canopy nowadays. And you can see right there, that in the lobby is where the MGM Grand Tiger sits. And oftentimes when there's boxing, like Mayweather, they put a boxing ring in there. And you can just see the Emerald City theme all over the MGM Grand. That was inside. Now that area right there is the Centrifuge Bar right now. We walked past it last night on the live stream. And that right there was a giant, huge yellow brick road with the Emerald City behind it. So definitely a very different time, a very different era in the history of Las Vegas. People would pose for photos beside it. You had a cowardly lion, just like Romans over at Caesars. Look at that. Even stock photos of that back in the day. Of course, now that's the MGM Grand. One less little fact about the MGM Grand that most people don't know. Simply put, that color of green is a special type of color of green. It's a Pantone color. Nobody can use it. Only MGM, the movie studio, has the rights to it. So when they made the new Wizard of Oz movies starring James Franco, they couldn't use that color of green. Look at the yellow brick road. There's the old tiger. There's the old lion entrance to the MGM Grand. What do you like? Do you like the old entrance with that giant old school deal, or do you like the new entrance? You tell me in the comments of the video. I want to hear what you have to say. What you have to say is muy importante. Look at that. I can just scale myself like magic. It's magic. Miss the Glitter Gulch neon signs downtown. You know, Glitter Gulch was what they originally called downtown Las Vegas. It was like a slang term, like saying I'm going to the Strip. You'd say I'm going down to Glitter Gulch. And, then it became known as that. Now Glitter Gulch then became a gentleman's club. That's gone now. In place of it is going to be the Circa. You can see the lions formerly from the MGM at the lion habitat. Yeah, there was a lion habitat. I guess we could do that too to show you guys what's up with that. So you can find that. You go MGM Grand. Oh, this is from a different website. Oh, I lost it. MGM Grand Lion Habitat. Those are actually in Henderson right now. You can go and do that if you want to. But this is the old lion habitat. It was free. Whoa, is part of the Bally's the original MGM? Yes, it is. I can show you that in a moment. We'll talk about that. Dodger Ryan 124 in just a moment. Thank Dodger Ryan, guys, for me. Thank him so much. So they had the lion habitat at the MGM Grand. That is the most 90s picture that ever has 90s in my whole life. And yeah, you would walk through. It didn't cost you money at all. It was open 7 days a week. And you could see lions. And they were well taken care of by zoologists and everything like that. So we can also type in original MGM Grand Bally's Las Vegas, and we could find some of that action. And there you go. That's the MGM Grand. And as you can see, all of these hotel towers still exist to this date. You can see what the original MGM Grand looked like. Here's some ideas from you guys. I guess there's a website called Early Vegas. There it is. That is not changed very much with the exception of, oh, Roger Miller's playing at the MGM Grand, folks. I don't know who that is, and you probably don't either. Well, there was the fire, of course, and a lot of people died. It was a fatal fire. It was a tragic day for Las Vegas history. There it is, literally under construction. Wow, that is a good stock photo from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Yep, we had a big fire at the MGM Grand, and it was a tragedy. And now it's the Bally's. Bally's, 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 as you can see from that screenshot right there. Lots of good history in Las Vegas. I'm glad you guys are watching this with me so we can go through some of it on our own. We go back, snap back to reality. Oh, Joe Exotic worked there. Is that true, Todd? That would be very interesting. Joe Exotic worked there. There was a giant fire, and Joe Exotic's life is a dumpster fire. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about that. Roger Miller was a singer. Okay, cool. I could have looked that up, but I'm glad you know. Never got to the MGM Grand Adventure Park. Yeah, we also had the MGM Grand Adventure Park, so we have to look that up too. Look, I keep scaling in and out. It's probably very annoying to some of you. One of you will complain about it, which is totally fine. MGM Grand Theme Park. Las Vegas. Yes, there was actually a theme park in Las Vegas, my friends. And there is a map of what that theme park actually looked like. And I remember I went there as a kid. I was like 14 or 15 years old. And there's a map of it. And it was a giant theme park. It sits right now, what sits there is the Signature Towers 1, 2, and 3. But there you go. I remember that water ride. I remember that. Oh my God, I'm having a nostalgia kick. There it is being built up. You can see the idea of it. Theme Park University. I'm actually going to go to this page and read it at a later date. So we can see a lot of different water rides. We can see a lot of different, there are roller coasters there. I mean, perfect for Las Vegas in the desert in the summertime. The problem was that to get to the water ride, you had to walk outside. Ain't nobody wants to do that. So you see, we can see the Ferris wheels, roller coasters, thrill parks. I mean, look, it was a full-on amusement park in Las Vegas. Vegas did lose its minds for a moment, and we collectively invited kids to come here, which now a lot of you guys would say is not a good idea. Sal Salvage Hotel on Fremont Street, we have that. That is not even a 90s thing. That is like a 50s and 60s things. And if you look at Sal Salvage, it's Las Vegas backwards. It is. The MGM theme park must have been amazing, especially for Wizard of Oz fans. I mean, yeah, it was a theme park. It was trying to compete directly with MGM's Universal, which was at the time was just Universal Studios. That was, of course, in California. It actually had more amusement park rides than anywhere else in the Western United States, with the exception of Disneyland, believe it or not. Wish I could have gone to the Star Trek experience, but closed before I had a chance. Yeah, it is gone. It was at the Hilton. The Hilton became the Westgate. They decided to close it. It was supposed to possibly go downtown before Fremont Street was built. They were going to build a giant Starship Enterprise. That never came to pass, actually. Randall Rader is here. G'day, mate. How you doing? Top Golf is an overpriced driving range. It is, but it's an attraction that a lot of people want to go to. Top Golf also has like hot tub jacuzzis. They have a lot of themes. C573, what's the future of Vegas, family friendly or not? Wow, what a good question. I wonder, you just got my questioning gear thinking in my head. What if they get rid of all the smoking in all the hotels? Then it's more family friendly. But then again, kids can't go and gamble, and they don't want the kids to be on the hotel floor and the casino floor, not the hotel floor, who cares about that, when it was a gaming area. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what the answer is. I think we might have to transition to more family-friendly attractions. Maybe there'll be another amusement park here. Thank you so much. You can see them in the old movies, Sasha Fox says. He says, Tropicana used to have high diving boards. This is true. Tropicana had great. Niagara Falls, slowly I turn. Winnipeg Jet says, well, you can always stay in Canada and go to Niagara Falls to gamble at Casino Niagara. That's true. Wet and Wild across from Circus Circus back in the 80s. There are a few Wet and Wild parks still to this day in Las Vegas. There really are. There's one on Fort Apache, and there's one down in Henderson. Let's see what the original Wet and Wild Las Vegas Strip looks like in these photos. I'm sure we'll find some, but it's just showing me a bunch of, oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Wet and Wild on the Las Vegas Strip. If you look at the sign back here, you can actually see the Sahara. That's how close it is. That's where the Fontainebleau now sits, actually. Big old water park. Now, I used to go to a water park with my family up in Canada and Southern Ontario. To this date, I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, there you go. Look at that. You can walk up all the way up that water park in 115-degree heat just so you could take that giant, crazy slide all the way down. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, it was open in 85. Now you can see the Sahara Tower right behind it. The tower still exists, but of course that's the Fontainebleau. And of course we have a bunch of 90s people watching, which is pretty awesome. Look at that thing. That is cool. And you put a black and white photo, even though it was open in 1985. Doesn't make any sense. But there you go. Wave pools, everything. You can see the Hilton in the background. Of course, now we have we have Las Vegas has 2 of them. The Wet and Wild, modernized, really cool, really slick. That's the one down in, I believe, Fort Apache. That might be Fort Apache. We have Wet and Wild videos on YouTube. You can find this stuff. It's the same namesake. It's never going to be the same. You got to go. That's the original right there. This would, I believe, be the new one, so you can see some of the new stuff. Now, lazy rivers, water slides. It's a much bigger scale, the new Wet and Wild. So something you guys might consider doing when you're out here with your kids is checking out Wet and Wild. You have to go off the strip, but hey, nowadays you can rent a car for practically nothing. Don't you know, I was at Wet and Wild one time when it was 116 watt reset. That is some hot stuff, man. It was fun, Wet and Wild, especially in a hot Vegas summer. I bet you. We got to go out to the Wet and Wild, the wife and I. But I got to lose about 30 pounds, and I couldn't even film it. I was wearing my puka shells and blonde dyed tips, Kirk says. Wow, Kirk is dating himself to a 90s guy kind of thing. It seems like the monorail displaced the Wet and Wild on the strip. I don't know. The monorail doesn't get very wet or wild. Haha! Random question. How far outside the tourist area of Vegas do I need to drive for normal pricing on groceries? 1 block? 2 blocks? Yeah, I mean, well, a couple of blocks. You can drive down to the corner of Tropicana and Maryland Parkway and go to a Vaughn's, and everything's normal price there. But Vaughn's is kind of not, it's more expensive in terms of grocery stores. Elvis impersonators were the peaks in the 90s. You know, I have a friend who's an Elvis Presley impersonator. He was actually in Carrie Underwood's video. She did a video about getting married to a bad guy or something, and they eloped to Vegas. And his name is Johnny Thompson, and he's in the Philippines right now. I hope he comes back to Vegas. And I hope he is a Vegas guy, because he was an impersonator through the 90s. He was on the red carpet with the Entertainment Network and stuff. I fell and I couldn't get up. Marineland, yes, not Vegas, but I remember Marineland as a kid with Shamu the killer whale. There's a market off Flamingo about half a mile past Paradise. I'm trying to think of which one. Yeah, those are not full-on grocery stores, so you're still paying a little bit more price. Stephen J., I agree with you, and there shouldn't be a waiver sign to see a darn show. I agree with that, John. I mean, that's just my frustration that they would even think about doing that. How long has this been going on? We got 31 minutes and 12 seconds into it, and I'll be gone in 29 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll be here for an hour tonight. There was a Motion Atlantis ride at Caesar's Palace. I'd prefer a more family-themed Vegas. It could be done again in the Sin and Sin City of growing very tiresome and taking advantage of. I'm 61 and these are my best times in Vegas, Jim says. Good on you, Jim. Jim's a local Las Vegan level 4. If you don't know, we have 3 levels. Level 1 is the chatters and the viewers. Level 2 are my wrenches. They're keeping everybody pretty cool and not saying hateful stuff. Level 3 is the people. What do we got for level 3 today? Let's go take a look right now. We have Steven Rodriguez, Dodger Ryan 124, Aggie Jordan III, Martin Alvarez, Dodger Ryan 124, and C573. Those are our level 3s, and level 4 are the Patreons, because they're awesome. They're awesome people that do that stuff. Whoa, Eric is here. Great stream. Enjoyed the Retro Vegas tour tonight. Oh, we don't necessarily have to be done. Remind me of a Vegas thing from the 90s, and we'll go look it up. Think Ambrosia is saying, how long has this been going on? I was only 88 to 92. I remember during the MGM Grand Fire, the casino gamblers didn't want to evacuate. They said, yes, unfortunately, there was rumors of people staying on the machines. There's an article you can read on that. It's remembering the whole thing. Steven has the best subscribers. Let's keep those thumbs up. Thank you so much. Any ideas why Bellagio only do temperature checks on guests, but doesn't check everyone going in and out of the casino? It's the whole... oh, I got a frog in my throat. It's the whole strip. Las Vegas downtown is doing it on everybody. The strip is doing it just on guests. So it's either laziness or logistics. Like they just can't get themselves to do it because they're going to have tens of thousands of people through the door in a single day, or they're just lazy. I don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? When did they start their resort fees? Life in Las Vegas did a video on this about resort fees. I don't know, sometime about 10 years ago after the economics of the recession. And it was actually a locals casino that started doing it. And then the other ones took it upon themselves to pump it up, to pump up the jam, to max it all out and make it crazy. Crazy. How long is the Raiders Stadium? How far along is the Raiders Stadium? It's pretty far along. It should be open for, like, you should be able to technically do events in it within a few weeks, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But they did light up the Al Davis Memorial Torch as a test. One of my subscribers is a big Raiders fan. He got some photos of that, and it looks complete from the outside, so hopefully it'll be complete on the inside by July. So let's see what we got here. Standard Excalibur. Oh, let your light shine. The Bellagio has hand washing stations. Yeah, they have literal sinks and like kitchens, like bathroom sinks in the middle of the casino floor. It's pretty interesting. The roller coaster of the roof of the Sphere. Yeah, so we can look that up. There was a Stratosphere roller coaster. It was called Murder, Death, something. No, it wasn't. I can't remember what it was called. Let's go find out. And it actually had a wheel fall off of it once. You won't find that. But here we go. We got to find that. It's a roller coaster. It's on the top of the Stratosphere. Holy cow, right? Look at that thing. Look at the view that you get. And it closed, of course. That was what it looked like. On the top of the frickin' Stratosphere. I can't remember the name of it. But that's insane. Now, they replaced it with some other rides like this. And then, of course, have the free fall off the top of the Stratosphere. But that had to be the highest elevation amusement park ride in the world. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's not the roller coaster. That's just like an inversion ride. There's these things that dangle you around. And when it's windy, half these things can't run. Look at the old Stratosphere logo. God, it's so 90s, man. I mean, it's the Strat. They could have updated it without making it look hokey, but that's what it looked like. And, of course, you have the inverter ride, the big shot that goes up and down. Oh, it was called the High Roller? Are you serious? It was called the High Roller. Well, that seems like a lawsuit. Why didn't they sue the Link people? So yeah, oh look, there's a Wikipedia just for roller coasters. Whoa, Martin Alvarez, I have free parking with my player status, but since it's free at the Cosmopolitan, now we'll have any trouble finding parking. Probably. Unless I have some reserved spots down there. Because quite honestly, when I went to park at the MGM last night, I was driving around for 20 minutes. 20 minutes! It was insane. It was asinine. I didn't like it very much. Thank you so much, Martin Alvarez. It's very nice of you. Palm sweat just looking at the pictures. Yes. The Strat reminds me of the Skyline Tower, but taller. Yes, it's very tall. Stephen J, is the M still around? Because it's kind of fell by the wayside. Oh, the M is branded as the official hotel of the Oakland Raiders. I'm going to call them that. Sorry, guys. Don't get mad at me. They're the official hotel of the Las Vegas Raiders. So they're not going anywhere. They are opening up the M if it's not open already. I was trying to find out if it was open already when my camera died the other day. So let's see, M Resort. I think they are open. M Resort, Las Vegas. We're going to look it up for you guys because it's not done. I mean, that Penn Gaming, they might open both of theirs at the same time, but the M Resort Las Vegas is here. Welcome back. Let's see if I have availability for tonight when I can check in. And it looks like I can check in tonight. So the M Resort's got to be open because the rooms are being booked right now. I thought the Stratosphere was going to create a roller coaster from the top to the street, but didn't want it. Yeah, we talked about that on the channel before. Stratosphere failed roller coaster concept, and we can find that for you guys. So there was a ridiculous roller coaster that was supposed to be to the top to the bottom of the Stratosphere, and you guys can see that in these screenshots right here. We talked about this a while back, but that was what it was originally going to look like. Yeah, scary, huh? Look at that thing. That is insane. I don't know who would have actually ridden that. I don't know how logistically possible that thing could ever be, but that's the most frightening damn thing I've ever seen. And look at that. Somebody built the Stratosphere out of Legos in Legoland in Florida. That's actually cooler than everything. Look, you got a bunch of stuff. Look how they had to build that. Could you imagine being the crane operator on that thing? I could not. That would just be a little bit too much for me, but crane operators make so much money that I guess it pays off. Good evening, Stephen, all from Fairfield, Northern California. Fun is here. Thank you so much. Do you think the Mr. Olympia will happen this year? It's possible. I don't see why it wouldn't. They have it at the Orleans every year. It sells out 8,000 people. Mr. Olympia is, of course, the bodybuilding competition that they have. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. Most of the guys and the gals that are going to be appearing, they're going to be, they're going to be having their own gyms. Like they're not adhering to social distancing, put it that way. Those guys do so much stuff to risk their health for their competitions that they don't really care as much, I imagine. I'm not naming names, so you can't sue me or nothing like that. But I think Mr. Olympia will most likely happen. I just don't know how many people will be able to go to the expo if they decide to have it. But the expo is the big moneymaker. Mr. Olympia Expo, where you get all the supplements and you meet all the people. I'm watching Lifetime, and time for me to watch the movie. Okay. Is Playboy Club still at the Palms? No, that's been gone for several years. The Palms Fantasy Tower is gone. Now it's just the Palms. And I think the Palms might be open. I'm not sure. I drove past it and it said welcome back, but that could be just something that they're blasting out to all of their properties that Station Casinos owns. The Palms, of course, is in big trouble. They lost a lot of money off of their venture to try to make a nightclub, which made everybody guess whether or not nightclubs could survive in Las Vegas. And now everybody wonders whether they're going to survive in Las Vegas. Real big time. Do they still have the outdoor arena at Caesars where the parachute guy fell into the hole? No. That area right out there, that used to be an arena. That's not an arena anymore. Now that's the Absinthe Theater. They built that giant tent out there for a temporary show that ended up being a staple in Las Vegas. The old coaster at the Sahara called Speed, somebody wants to see. Absolutely, you can see that. That was at the Sahara. That was based on the NASCAR. So we'll go NASCAR Speed roller coaster. We can find that one in a GIF. That one's easy to find. It's called Speed the Ride, and it was a pretty cool roller coaster, and you can see it right out here. Very similar to what they actually built over at this. They were going to want to build at the Stratosphere. I wonder if it had the same architects. It was just one of those coasters that doesn't even bring you up a chain and then let you fall. It just shot you up really fast, and then you would come backwards just like that, and it banked a couple of times, as you can see. So that is an intense looking roller coaster. There it went through one loop-de-loop. That's what it did. And that's the old Sahara right there. And this is so sad. You can see the fountain blue right behind here. Oh my gosh. Yep, you can see the fountain blue under construction. There's the frontage of the old Sahara. Whoa, Carlos. Carlos says Caesars or Wynn update on their buffet. That'll update on their opening dates of the buffets. I've heard two things. I've heard the 18th at the Wynn, and I've heard the 25th at the Wynn. But I haven't seen anything from anything. When you go to the website for the Wynn, it just says the buffet will be opening soon with new safety and sanitation. So that's what that is. But yeah, that's definitely not the same roller coaster. Wow. Could you imagine if they built that in Las Vegas? Would you ever ride that thing? That's nuts. But there you go. Now, the other thing was this roller coaster was actually sold to the canceled observation wheel. What was that one called? Skyview. And that was actually a wheel that was supposed to be built. No, I did it wrong. Sky Wheel, Las Vegas, canceled. You just got to type in the right terms. Yeah, so that was supposed to be the canceled one, and for some reason it's only bringing me pictures of the link, which is unfortunate. There was a giant one, and I can't remember what it was called, and it was on the south end of the strip. Now there's just two pillars sticking out, and it was canceled, but they were supposed to build the speed ride there. That's a good way to derail your live stream. Don't know what you're talking about for a minute. I can't remember of the name of that roller coaster. It's right next to the fairgrounds where the October 1st incident happened. Hi, Steve. I ordered 2 masks today off the website. They're all happy masks. I was looking for skull and crossbones, but I'll still be happy to get them, Rick says. I'll try to look for your email. We have other stuff that we're not putting on the website right now, other fabrics, because it got confusing for a minute. But I can try to get you something that's a little more PG-13 oriented. I'll try to email you. I blacked out all of the Intimidator at King's Dominion. That's a crazy thing, Jeffrey. I wouldn't even set foot on that thing. I had a friend die in the Pulse shooting of his mom. Oh, that's sad. Palms is taking reservations at Palms Place only at this time. That's because Palms Place is a residential hotel, or it's a residential tower, so you could actually buy a place at Palms Place. One of the biggest ever condo sales in Vegas history was at Palms Place. It was a penthouse suite. Remember NASCAR Cafe? I sure do. Yep, that's gone forever. What is the roller coaster going through the hotel and casino off of the Los Angeles highway? Gone by it, but never stopped. That's Prim. That's the roller coaster in Prim. That's been there for a while. I don't know which hotel it is. Is it Buffalo Bills? Prim roller coaster. That's been around forever. And we can see it right here. And we can see some photos. That would be the Desperado roller coaster. So there is a bigger roller coaster in Las Vegas. Looks pretty fun. That guy in particular knows there's a camera looking at him. Everybody else is oblivious to it, but this dude right here, he's a trailblazer right in the middle. You gotta love him. And yeah, that's the roller coaster. Oh man, I wouldn't want to be maintenance on that. It goes underneath the street level. I've never ridden it myself. I'm not a fan of feeling like I'm going to throw up. Whoa, Josh Dibb. Hello, thanks, Stephen. God, hope border opens soon. I hope it is, too, for you Canadians, you knuckleheads out there. So apparently it's closed, according to this video from 2018. I don't know if it's closed for good. Maybe it is. I don't know. TripAdvisor says that we know all we need to know by reading this article. So it looks like Oh, it looks like it might be open. Who knows? Yeah, you're gonna have to call down to the Prim Resort to find out if it's open. Prim is a little tiny town. I should have probably prefaced this by saying it's a little small town that literally borders California and Nevada. So I can be standing with one foot in California and one foot in Nevada at the same time. And it's Nevada, it's not Nevada, by the way. You can fly in from Canada but not drive over the border. Weird but true, Nancy says. That might be true too, Nancy, because I met somebody who had some kind of an international travel pass. They didn't give him a hard time, but he flew here. But I've heard from a friend of mine that comes here quite often that Delta had canceled all of his airline flights out of Toronto to come to Canada. So he said that they're not even trying to fly. Stephen, love all the info and history you share as always. Going to research kid activities for some friends coming to visit. Well, have you heard good reviews on Lake Las Vegas Water Park? Never heard of a Lake Las Vegas water park. If there is such a thing, I can research it for you right now. Lake Las Vegas is not for kids. It's a golf course and a seniors community. Lake Las Vegas water park. Maybe there is one. And there it is. Okay, so the Lake Las Vegas water park. Okay, let's take a look at this for the kiddies, for the juveniles, for the people coming down who are trying to have a good time. So there is a water park down there. That's news to me. So I learned something new today. Looks like it's all floating. That's interesting. And by the way, guys, this is Lake Las Vegas. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys might want to check it out. Wow. I totally want to do that. That would make for great footage and great fun time. But Lake Las Vegas is just a really nice bunch of swanky resorts. Whoa. Oh, stop. Jeez, that just blew my eardrums out. I didn't even expect that to do that. Let's mute the site and go back. So we can see these people here. And it just auto-played on me. Sorry about that interruption, guys. So, yeah, these folks here are just wearing life jackets and walking all over giant things floating in the middle of Lake Las Vegas. That's news to me. Wow, never even knew that that existed. Thank you for tipping us all off. I guess maybe depending on the age of the kids, this might be something they might be interested in. Yes, this is where all the rich people live because they have yachts. This lace log, look at this. That looks off the hook. That's something I got to try someday. One of these days. I'll put it on my someday aisle. Someday aisle. That's where all the people go when they never do anything. That's the place they go. They say, someday I'll go to Lake Las Vegas, and someday I'll ask for the promotion, and someday I'll go back to school. BC government says local casinos can't open until there's a vaccine. Oh my God. Well, red pill, what if that never happens? Are they out of business forever? Why don't people think on a level-headed type of thing? Until there's a vaccine is the stupidest thing in the world. Well, we can't open our doors until there's a flu vaccine. Well, the flu doesn't have a vaccine. You imagine if they said that after 1918? We would still be waiting for that flu vaccine that would cure us all. Remember the Playboy Club at Palms? Used to go in there one time, but $12 Budweiser, it's a bit much. Well, there's $14 Heinekens nowadays at MGM Grand. That's fun. Protesting is on again. That's true. Some Alberta. If you say Rona, I swear to God. It says, I talk like this. I talk like this for 46 minutes without shutting my mouth. I get a dry throat and I did bring water. Canada is way more conservative in a lot of ways. They're also more liberal in some ways. Someday the Drew will open. I imagine Steve Wynn buys it and calls it the Steve. That's what I've been saying. Oh, Jeff said Rona. Don't. No, I'm just joking, moderators. Don't moderate Jeff. Inflatables on water. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, oughta, someday I'll. That's my favorite hockey team lineup. The coulda, woulda, shouldas. We could have gotten that guy. We would have gotten that guy. We should have gotten that guy. It would have been cool. So even you remember the hobo at the Holiday Inn restaurant? I think it was across the street from the Aladdin. The hobo? The hobo at the Holiday Inn? No. Are you talking Hojo? Howard Johnson's? I don't know about that. The Steve. Always enjoyed the fun atmosphere at the Flamingo Casino. Yet still pretty much the same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Any comment if protesting is ruining the Vegas vibe? I don't know what the protests have been like, to be honest with you. That sucks that it's even happening, right? So usually what you do is you head on over to your Facebooks and you type in Fox 5 News, because Fox is desperate for clicks, no matter what they are. Fox 5 News. And then you type in that, and then you take a look, and you see if Fox 5 Las Vegas is live, because they send people out. They don't have much on here. Oh, wait, they do. Here it is. Okay, let's see what they got going on. You guys are going to be greatly, greatly overwhelmed by what's happening on the strip for the protests. Yes, that's right. This is what they're showing you. That's all they got. So if there was protests, they've been following them around. But we got nothing. This is, of course, the north. You can see the Stratosphere Tower, tippy top up here. These are the Turnberry Place Towers. This is the monorail station that sits, I believe, behind the Sahara, because that's the Fountain Blue right there. So either a news reporter was horribly injured and doesn't have his camera right now, or there's nothing to report and there's nothing to see here and move along, sir, that kind of stuff. So I don't know if it's destroying the vibe. I guess that's a tourist question I could ask next weekend. I'll be on the live streams on the strip on the weekends. I figure I have a full-time job, so I can't do it every day like some bloggers can. I could, but then I'd be away from my house from 8:30 in the morning till 11:30 at night. Show us pictures of the old Aladdin. I would love to. Why didn't you ask sooner, my friends? Oh, look at, they just ended the live stream. So we just got it. There's that. Well, this is over. Aladdin Las Vegas was horrible in terms of getting into the hotel. I mean, if you type it in, you get the Planet Hollywood. But that's the old Aladdin, the original Aladdin from the 60s, okay? And then that's, you can see that the Bally's is behind that. There was no Paris Hotel at the time. And then we moved to the new Aladdin, which, oh my God, it's really hard. Tower of Majesty. It's really hard to find big photos of this stuff. These are all small snapshots. Even if I blew this up, you wouldn't see very much. We can open it up in a new tab and see if we can make that bigger. Yeah, we can't really because it's a TripAdvisor photo. But either way, let's find one. And you can see the crowded, horribly ugly frontage of the Desert Passage. It's just terrible. The towers have not changed. All of this has obviously been mostly ripped down. Yeah, they built this casino that was beautiful and opulent to look at, but a pain in the butt to get into. And it just wasn't very good. It didn't have a lot of foot traffic through. This is the implosion of the original Aladdin. The only thing that remains from the original Aladdin is the Center for Performing Arts that's inside the back. There's the original Aladdin right there. Look at that. They had great lounge shows. So, yeah, not a very good way to look at it. And across the street, of course, you had the city center now. You had the boardwalk, though, back then, 99-cent souvenirs, that kind of stuff. So, very interesting to see the progress that we've made. And not progress, according to some people. Some people wouldn't think it's progress. Old Land and Planet Hollywood share a wedding chapel because Elvis was married there. Very nice. Elvis was also married on film at the Little Church of the West, I believe, where I got married. I opened out the recent Aladdin I stayed at the recent Aladdin right after it opened. Dustin said, very nice. They originally were painting the original Aladdin blue. Most people don't know that. And then somebody wised up and said, you're going to paint it blue. What about the airplanes? And then they started to paint it the current color, the kind of muted white color that it is. Singer in Vegas, Patrick Mahoney. Hey, Steve, enjoying your live shows for weeks now. Do you think a space between seats at shows and theaters will work? Well, I covered that today, and David Sachs, who has the Sachs in the V Theater, that's SAXE, YouTube auto content AI system, as in saxophone, he thinks it won't work. He says that he can't fill 80% of his shows and be profitable. He can only fill 28% of his shows, so he would lose money every time. So I guess the answer is no. In that case, it wouldn't be profitable for them. Any Blackjack sightings lately? Where was he? He just headbutted me. The son of a gun left. He was right in here. He was right in here when Domino was here, and he just headbutted me and walked away. I'm actually afraid about where this BLM thing is going. Okay. We're going to talk about something else, AJZ, man. You don't have to be moderated. Don't moderate him for that. I just don't want to talk about that myself. Any word on the buffets? Yes, buffets will be opening at the Wynn, at least maybe June 18th, maybe June 25th. I don't know yet. Maybe you guys know. Steve D says, yes, I meant the hobo at the Howard Johnson restaurant. I didn't know there was such a thing. Steve D knows more about that than me. Good on you, Steve. MGM changed the line in because Chinamen think it's bad luck. Yes, we covered that. You are correct on that. Remember the Desert Inn Golf Course? Yes, I do. Let's take a look at the Desert Inn Golf Course for a moment. There used to be a lot of golf courses on the Strip. That was back in the day when, old dudes would just come and play golf and the ladies would play the slots. So Desert Inn Golf Course. And, they have a lot of water rights because the Wynn is it the Wynn that bought that? Wynn is on Desert Inn. Yes, it's the Wynn. So we can see the old Desert Inn golf courses from these. Now, they still have the Wynn golf course, so it's not like it's gone or anything like that. It's just that it was called the Desert Inn. Now, you might have been talking about the Dunes golf course. And the Wynn golf course, actually, as far as I understand, I think they've opened it up to tee times, but for a while, it was strictly invite only. You had to be like an invited guest of the hotel. There's probably Bob Hope or somebody important playing, and there's that. But we also have the Dunes Golf Course. Dunes Golf Course, of course, was huge. And that was the Dunes Golf Course, Las Vegas. Apparently, there's a lot of Dunes Golf Courses in this country. And you can actually see that from here. Look at how big that thing was. Absolutely monstrously massive. They had the water rights over at the Bellagio. So you can see how big that is. And there it is. And the entire Dunes Resort, as I've said before on the channel, fits inside of the Bellagio fountains. Most of the property was just a golf course. Greetings from Las Vegas. Man, those palm trees look sad, don't they? That must have been right when it first opened. But you can see the dunes far off in the distance. All of this property became the Bellagio. So that's a very interesting... This is obviously not the Dunes Golf Course. There it is, the dunes. Yeah, the entire hotel frontage became the Bellagio fountains. Wow, what a nostalgia trip. Uncle Black, just because, my God, you keep doing it, Uncle Black. You are a saint. Thank you so much, Uncle Black. And Uncle Black is responsible for me getting a haircut tomorrow with my wife. He sent me some awesome stuff in the mail regarding that stuff. TPC Summerlin was actually one of the first ever professional courses that Tiger Woods played on and won. That was one of the best ones out here for him. He actually won his first major at the Las Vegas National Golf Club. And if you go to the Las Vegas National, it's over on Desert Inn, still to this date, or is it Sahara? I can't recall. And you can go in there and they have like this shrine to Tiger Woods. This shrine, and he was losing all of that tournament, and he came back and won it in the last 2 days. Is the high roller open? Yes, it is. You know, Barakar, as we say here. Thank you, Uncle Black. My mom loved the Aladdin. She passed away now. Aw. But I'm sorry she loved it. But now she loved it. It was her cool sister went there for her 21st birthday. Very nice, very nice. Steak and eggs, $3.95 back in the 90s. Yeah, you can still get steak and eggs for $4.99 at the Oceans 1, but it's not open yet. Steve, I'm taking you for steak at the Ellis Island when I'm back in town. Well, you're going to have my wife tag along because she loves some good steak. We've never been to Ellis Island. I know. I'm terrible, I know. Hey, Stephen Campbell, Lance says, hey, Lance, how you doing, my man? The Old Westward Ho had a free champagne fountain in the casino. Very nice, very nice. Hacienda Hotel was where the Mandalay Bay is now. It absolutely was. That's the last thing we're going to look at here because we're nearing the 1 hour mark, and I wanted to make sure that I did this for you guys so we can look up the old Hacienda Hotel Las Vegas, and you can see some old shots of the Hacienda Hotel Las Vegas right about now. Funk Soul Brother. So that was the old Hacienda right there. This is obviously a very old photo of the Hacienda. You can see it all lonesome right beside, halfway demolished, right beside the Luxor where the Mandalay Bay was built. And yeah, there it is right on Tropicana Avenue. Right where the, no, not on Tropicana. That would be on Hacienda Avenue. Right where the Mandalay Bay is right now. Look at that. Vegas doesn't build them like this anymore, do they? And this design, of course, became the design where they have like the X shape where everything's like an X. So you have 1 tower, 2 towers, 3 towers, and 4. So they just bind them all together right now. Now we have the horse downtown. He's, of course, on Fremont Street. So you can see the old Hacienda Pioneer Pete horse. And there it is while it was being ready to be imploded. Very, very interesting. Very interesting Vegas stuff that we had going on tonight. There it is during the implosion. 568097. I guess there's a Pinterest board just dedicated to this stuff. That became the Mandalay Bay, obviously. And there it is. Somebody's fortune was just torn down in a few seconds. But that's the way it goes in Las Vegas. Fortunes are made and fortunes are lost. And people's dreams are built and people's dreams are smashed. And I just realized I spent most of the time staring at the wrong screen, baby. I should have put that over here and had your chats over here, but I'm still learning. That's the way it is. Yes, the neon sign, the Pioneer Pete, is still on Fremont Street. It wasn't lit up last time I was there, but that's a shame. Okay, so AJ Z-Man wants me to do a collab with some other bloggers. That would be cool. I'll wait till they reach out to me because they don't answer my queries, but they're nice people, I'm sure. Dodger Ryan says, is the Glow Graveyard still there? The Neon Graveyard is still around. Yep, they opened up a few weeks ago, back for action. So you can go to the Neon Graveyard if you guys want to. That's very good, too. Is the Bucket Downtown Container Place shooting fire again? It's not shooting fire yet. It's not operating just quite yet. I don't know when they're going to start that. El Rancho. William, we're going to do a part 2 of all this because I'm nearing the end, William, but I appreciate the El Rancho. There's so much stuff we're going to look up, and we're going to do a history of all these different hotels on the Strip. We're going to do some videography. I'm working on a video right now that is the Flamingo with the room. You guys can get on Patreon to see it early when I'm finished it, but it might be a while before I'm finished it. I don't want to date it too much because Vegas is ever changing right now, and you can't film in the Flamingo, so I tried my best. When will you retrieve the remade pizza, Lance? Well, I need you to text my phone, my friend. I gave you my card last night. Send me a text if you could, so I can definitely get with you on that. Lance is going to make me a remade pizza. I could get it tonight. You want me to get the pizza tonight? Lance, are you there, Lance? If you're there, I'll come in right after this live stream, my man. Okay, so will there be fireworks for the 4th of July? I'll be in town. Well, I guess if you are, it's a bonus. I hope there are. That would be great. Making progress on MSG Arena Globe. Are they making progress? I'm so happy if they're going to restart the MSG Sphere. That would be great. That would be wonderful. Paul says, thanks for the Vegas history. Did I get over the problem? Okay, let's talk about this one last time. If you guys are on Instagram, I am also on Instagram. So we're going to show you guys one last thing before I go. Like Steve Jobs, but less exciting and less charismatic than Steve Jobs. So I do have an Instagram. I'm going to show you guys what my Instagram looks like. I post pictures on my Patreon, but I also post stuff on my Instagram. What the heck am I looking at? My Instagram is full of weird things. This is Art, the lucky lotto magnet, I think. He's lottery wins. I have a weird Instagram, but I do have a feed, and it's called Not Leaving Las Vegas. That's the Instagram. All right. Now, I, for whatever reason, made it so you have to request me because I don't know why I did. Somebody told me that might be, well, look at this. I got a lot of follower requests. Somebody once told me that you should do that. I don't know why. They say that if they can see your whole feed, they might not want to follow you. So now I got to confirm people. Okay. So I noticed that there's another channel called Not Leaving LV. So I'm thinking maybe they're a business. But then I see this and I go, yep. Definitely not a business. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las blank. It's just a really cheap, stupid, not even trying hard, bad joke towards LGBT peoples. No posts, no nothing, but they're pretending to be me. So we do what we do. We click the 3 dots. We go to report the user. It's inappropriate. Report the account. It's pretending to be somebody else. It's pretending to be me. And then we submit the report. And I had a bunch of people doing this on Facebook, and they're still not taking it down, and they message me back and says, thanks for the report. This isn't inappropriate. Not one bit. How is it not inappropriate? How? They're using my logo. They're using my name. They're mocking me, and they're trying to impersonate me. This is not a parody account. I'm not a public official that can get a check mark or whatever the devil it is they do with these things. But that's what it is. So if you want to do me a favor, jump on Instagram, report the post, take a screenshot that you reported it, because I am had it up to here with these social media companies. If my last name was Kardashian or whatever the soup of the day hip hop star was, this wouldn't be happening to me on Instagram. They would have a team calling my cell phone apologizing to me for that stuff, for their AI not picking it up. That made me very frustrated. Yeah, it is bizarre. You know, it is bizarre. Because why would you do that? What you're going to do is, what are you going to do? You're going to try to get people to follow you? You could do a better job. No photos, no posts, no tags. I don't even know how old the account is. I have no way of knowing. You know, you can't even do anything. Maybe I should send them a message, but then you're just feeding the trolls. I just want the account gone, but they won't do anything. Anyways, you don't need to be a public official to get a check mark. Well, I don't know how to get one. I mean, I'm looking at my account. By the way, this is my feed. I don't post up as much as I'd like to. With 2019 technology, this movie would never make sense. This is true. But, you know, I'm trying to post more stuff here, and I link it back to my official page. So this goes back to my Patreon right there, which I don't want to load because it has personal information when I'm logged in. And that's what I'm dealing with. So thank you guys for being with me tonight so you guys can know what it happens to people. So go and report that if you can. Take a screenshot, post it in the Facebook group or something like that. Show me that you did it, and then I can go to Instagram and say, you guys are the most irresponsible jerks on the planet. But that's that. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. If my friend at Little Caesars wants to text me, if you're still around, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. I'll take it off Do Not Disturb right when I get off of this live stream. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, you can be in the videos every single time I do a video. You'll have your name in the credits. You'll see videos I post up early there. Photos I post on a regular basis. There's over 140 pieces of locked content on my Patreon, actually. And did I get a text? I didn't get a text from anybody yet, so I guess they're not texting me about pizza. If you guys want to get the face mask, vegasfacemask.com. No S at the end. It doesn't go around your ears. Ties up in the back. My wife makes them and we ship them out as fast as we possibly can. You need these things to go into some places. So, you know, and I wish I had mine yesterday. All right, guys, that's it for me. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things. You guys are great. Thanks for the great night. Thank you to all my rock stars, my superstars, my level 1s that watch and comment, my level 2s that are my wrenches, my level 3s that are tonight, Steven Rodriguez, Dodger Ryan 124, Aggie Jordan III, Martin Alvarez, Dodger Ryan 124, again, wow, C573, Arik Hevner, Martin Alvarez, Carlos Velasio, Joseph Dibb, Uncle Black, Dodger Ryan, Woo, and Paul Rotter. Those are my level 3s, and my level 4 rock stars are guys like Uncle Black and Paul Rotter and Arik. And if I missed anybody, you're also on my Patreon, and thank you guys for being there too. All right, I gotta go. We gotta go. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Hit the bell. You know what to do. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in another video tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. And what's wrong with you? You didn't do my voice. I know, Arnold. I didn't do your voice. You're such an idiot. I know, Arnold, but my voice is sore today. Okay. All right. There's your Arnold. Bye.